am a huge fan of the Universal monsters and have been since I was a kid. And when Universal asked me if I'd be interested in doing The Mummy, I jumped at the chance, but I really wanted to figure out a way to do it to honor everything that I loved about those films and also bring it to a new audience that may not have actually seen either the Karloff Mummy movies or the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. And the challenge was figuring out a way to pay tribute to all of them, but also bring something new to the table. The Dark Universe, which is going to be our endeavor to launch relaunch all the monster films, was not actually on the agenda at the beginning. They came to me about Mummy specifically, and as I started to develop the script for it, one of the ideas in looking for a way to differentiate from the movies that came before was that the Mummy existed in a larger continuum of monsters, and there was an organization that may have either been hunting them or protecting them, depending on what the monster was, and certainly tracking and cataloging them over history. And the idea of the larger monster universe began to take shape, and ultimately the agenda kind of dovetailed with where the story was naturally going. It's a major point of pride. You know, Universal was built on the monsters. The first Universal film ever was Hunchback. And I think they feel that it is their legacy, their heritage, and that we are now inheriting that mantle, and we need to do honor by that. And people who loved those films will see that these new films are being made by people who love those monster movies. You know, the idea that he is a character who has his own connection to the nature of evil, and certainly seems to carry himself as if he were from a different time, which may suggest that in fact he is. I like that idea. You know, all the monsters are rooted in mythologies that have existed for millennia, centuries, you know, over long periods of time. And I think Prodigium is certainly not a new organization, and Jekyll may be a lot older than he looks. I believe that the best way to build a universe is to give the audience incredibly satisfying monster movies that make you fall in love with each individual monster in the way that I know I did when I was a kid and saw those films, but also within the context of that to open doors to the larger dark universe.
Welcome to a new world of gods and monsters.